Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how I tank Arc without any PEs and I have 0 deaths, and I'm going to hopefully give you some tips on what I focus on to help survive as a tank or even just as a melee DPS. So right off the bat, I want you to notice positioning, right? As a tank, I'm kind of on the right side and all the DPS are on the left, and while all the support classes doing the towers are on the left waiting for their orb colors to change. And so there's not much going on until that first DR phase coming up soon. So right off the bat, within the first 30 seconds, you're going to get DR right here. So we have 2 Phantoms, and our first one actually missed it, and the second Phantom used their steal right here, so we won't have it available for the next DR. So we just have to keep that in mind. So the first tip is understanding when double lightning occurs. This is the most common way that people die, and so you want to notice the signal, right? So the first thing he does is summon these double minions right here, and then he does lightning, and then he'll do lightning again, but in this run, our Demon Avenger actually stuns it, so it skips that skill. And then the second tip is that immediately after double lightning comes the sequence of Petrify, Flame Pillars, and then the 4 straight debuffs, which your bishop has to use Benediction in order to avoid getting snaked and possibly wiping the team. So after he does this sequence, you want to next look out for the Snake Strike into the lightning, right? Every time he does a Snake Strike right here, he's going to go lightning immediately afterwards. So as a tank, for a Demon Slayer, I use my heal to heal up to full, and then I can tank the lightning afterwards. And this Snake Strike into lightning combo, which you're going to see right here very quickly, is where I use my iframes, and you should as well, right? I was about to die, I didn't have full health, and I had to use Dark Meta to immune that lightning strike. Which takes me to another key point of surviving Arc without using any PEs, is not only understanding boss mechanics, but also understanding what you as a class has available to you to survive, right? Me as a Demon Slayer, I have a 50% heal, which is my red skill on a 20-second cooldown, and then I have Dark Metamorphosis, which is an iframe for 10 seconds on a 90-second cooldown. So for example, in our party, we have a Dark Knight who has self-heals, we have a Demon Avenger who has self-heals, and we have Thieves who have Dark Sight, or Phantoms who have Sank. So these are all great options that you have available to you, and understanding that you have to manually do it and take it off your pet so you can use them at the optimal time is super crucial, and that combination of understanding when to use it and having it available is what's going to help you survive and keep the uptime to do the most DPS possible. Now, if you're one of those classes that doesn't have an iframe or self-heal, the most important thing is positioning, right? You'll notice that he does a lot of frontal attacks, like Crimson Queen, like Von Bon, the Snake Strike, and the Blue Orb are only in the front. So if you're always positioned behind the boss, you're only going to get hit by lightning, and as long as you have 120k HP, you can tank that damage, no problem, and you can heal up using your pot, or your bishop can heal you as well. Now, if you're the tank, one of the most important things is you have to keep the boss in the middle, right? For our run, we have a bishop that gets one-shotted by Blue Orb or by Snake Strike, so it's extremely important for me to stay in the middle. And as my other DPS notice, I'll be constantly turning the boss, but I try to keep him in the middle as possible, and the DPS have to reposition appropriately. So once you understand the boss mechanics, what can kill you, and also what you have available to survive in your toolkit, then it's just rinse and repeat. You'll see there's a Snake Strike here, and then here comes the double lightning, right? And you'll notice that instead of using an iframe, I just jump to the side and avoid that damage. And then, again, the sequence of Petrify, Flame Pillars, Benediction, and then again it's going to come the Snake Strikes into the lightning. So always just be aware of where your defensive cooldowns are and what your HP is like at all times. And the beauty of Arc is that the more times you do it, the more times you run it with your team, the more comfortable everyone will be, and the more comfortable you'll get with the mechanics and when to use your cooldowns appropriately. So for example, I'm always trying to use my Ravenstorm, my heal, whenever he Snake Strikes, so that I bump up to full health, and then I can tank the lightning. And for me, I think one of the most important things as you get more comfortable is you understand that you can live at lower HP. Throughout this fight, you'll see that my HP gets down to less than 10,000, right after I get hit with the lightning strike. And I don't panic. I don't worry if my HP pot is on cooldown. I just wait. I have self heals. I wait for bishop buffs because I understand that after a lightning, there is not any big hit besides a double lightning that's going to kill me. So I have time to recoup my health, and I don't panic, and I don't use my iframe. I don't use my heal after a lightning, and I just allow myself to self heal, use my party members to my advantage. And another great thing to do that we do in this fight is we stun our double lightnings, and we have our phantoms. We have multiple phantoms so that we can steal the DRs, right? And these are just ways to minimize the risk, minimize taking that extra damage and that uncertainty, that panic that you get when you know a double lightning's coming and you don't have an option to survive. Especially if you're the tank, the one holding aggro, you cannot be jumping around in and out, repositioning the boss, because that just throws off the entire run, right? So you have to be the one that is calm, understand when to use your defensive cooldowns properly, and so that you can keep the boss in the middle and let the run go as smoothly as possible. And once you panic, other people are going to panic. And so it's very important that you not only understand what the boss is doing and what's coming, but also how to survive and how to use your defensive cooldowns properly. And so this run went pretty smoothly. We didn't have any mishaps on Benediction, mishaps on Screen Crack, which was a huge win for us. We didn't have that many deaths, and I don't think I procced Heaven's Door until the very end over here when we missed a Screen Crack, actually. But overall, this was one of our smoother runs. It still went over 7, almost 8 minutes. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to keep my buffs open. I don't get to see the timer, so I don't know exactly how long this fight went. I think it was around 8 minutes, but for me, I like to see if my Heaven's Door is up, when my offensive cooldowns are up in the duration, and when I have how long my iframe is up, how many seconds left I have of immunity when I use my Dark Metamorphosis. So as we down this boss right here, I hope I was able to help you in any way, whether it's avoid deaths, minimize PEs, resources, put out more DPS. Let me know in the comments below if this helped. Let me know if you want to see other types of content, voiceovers, things like that to help you guys with your runs. And follow along, like, comment, and I'll be doing more content like this in the future.